All righty, so on to matchup number three. Matchup number three is featuring Neil and Jeff. Team BallsOnYa. This one's a good one, man. This one Egan and I spoke about this one just before we recorded here, and this was a tough one. This was a tough one to judge because this is pretty good teams on both sides of the ball here. Um, I find it interesting that Jeff hasn't really figured out his quarterback situation. I know he says Baker is dead to him, but Baker puts up 20, 34 points, whatever it is, while Lamar is kind of. And listen, I'm a Lamar owner in another league, and I get it. So it's tough to judge that. And I think I have Baker in that league too. But anyway, Jeff's team first. Lamar Jackson, I'm just a huge fan of his, man. But I mean, for fantasy purposes, if you're not producing numbers wise, I mean, it might, as bad as it sounds, you might want to put Baker in. I don't know. But he has gone out and tweeted that he doesn't give a fuck about our fantasy leagues. He doesn't care about our parlays. He just wants to win. So I don't know how you take that as a fantasy owner, but it sucks as a fantasy owner. I tell you that. But I love the Godwin. I love the Godwin matchup. Hubbard has been doing his thing over there in Carolina before Jonathan Brooks gets back. He's going to make a strong case that when Jonathan Brooks gets back, that he's still going to be, getting touches. I feel like before the season started, I don't think that Hubbard was on the radar like he is right now. I thought that when Jonathan Brooks gets back, he's going to go right in immediately, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they're going to ease Jonathan Brooks back in, and that's going to help Hubbard out. Um, Kittle, love Kittle. I love how he came back. Man, what a tremendous catch he had the other day, last week, huh, Egan? That was kind of like Randy Mossish over there, man. But he had like three people on him or something like that. That was a tremendous.
Yeah, I jumped out of my seat for that one.
Say what?
I said I jumped out of my seat for that one, man. Did a few f bombs.
Yeah, that was a badass catch. That was a really badass catch. That was pretty impressive. But man, Waddle, what are we doing with Waddle, Jeff? I mean, I understand your son loves him and that's his favorite player probably, but man, it might be time to put him on the bench, man, because you talk about somebody whose stock value is going down without a quarterback, man. He is the one that is really not benefiting from that at all. He's hurting right now, fantasy wise. It really in real life too, because he hasn't really been producing in real life either. I like the two tight end strategy that Jeff always does. I'm a fan of that, man. I really am, especially in this tight end heavy league. And him having Otten, my boy Otten from Tampa. Um, he's not like a top tight end. He's not lights out. But man, he gets his targets, he gets his catches, and when he gets the ball, he makes something of it. He gets really good yak yardage. He definitely moves forward. He has sure hands. Baker likes him. I know he's like the third or fourth option in our offense, but he's still getting his looks and he's getting his touches. So I like that. On the flip side, Neil's team, like I said about Egan's team and Tommy's team before, they're looking real good and real strong, and a team that we need to look out for as a league because Neil's team, now that he has Love back, is going to be something to watch out for. And him having Love back with Jaden Reed, as Love absolutely loves Jaden Reed, and that's a 1-2 punch that could go be very deadly. That's a 1-2 punch that I would love to have. That's a 1-2 punch that's like having C.J. Stroud and like Nico Collins right now. Those two can win a matchup just by them alone. I feel like. Not to mention he has one of the top receivers in C.D. Lamb still balling over there, and then he has statistically the number one receiver in yardage, Nico Collins. So right now, Neil is looking really good on the wide receiving room front. I really love what he got going on there. The question mark that I have is the running backs. And I say running backs, but really just Ramondre Stevenson. What are they going to do with him over there? I know Egan, when he gets on, he has a little tidbit that he heard about. I'll let him say that. But and then B-Rob. B-Rob is doing good. B-Rob has been handling the rock well. He's been getting red zone touches, and he's been producing between the 20-yard lines. I feel like he's catching the ball from the backfield as well, and he's been doing his thing, man. I think Eckler is out, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they had Jeremy McDaniels get a couple of touches last week, which is all right, but um, obviously Brian Robinson is still the feature back there, still going to get his touches. I have Neil winning this one pretty handily, 134 to 120. What you got, Egan?
Well, the first thing that jumps out to me in this matchup, just look at the wide receivers, and it's not that Jeff has bad wide receivers, but he's got Waddle, who's got Huntley, and we've seen in the last 2 weeks how much the drop off in the wide receivers has been with no quarterback. Um, Zay Flowers is just non-existent. I don't. I mean, he had one good game out of four,
Yeah,
3 or 4. Godwin's been very solid. But you look on the other side. I mean, C.D. Lamb's arguably the second best receiver behind Jefferson,
right, right.
and when the Texans signed or traded for Diggs, everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to come over and make a big difference." But Nico Collins he's been top 3, 4, 5 in the league,
Yeah,
and Reed is just different with Love in there. And I don't know if you caught this, but the quarterback to receiver connection, if they connect, that's a pretty big deal.
oh yeah,
Ordinarily, I'd say ETN is better than Robinson, but this year he just has not shown it. I mean, what did he have, 2 carries in the first half last week? I don't know what he ended up with, but
man. I don't know why. I don't know why he's not hurt or nothing. I don't know what's the deal.
and Jacksonville's just awful. There's no other way to put it.
Trash.
Um, and Stevenson, I read this morning that they're thinking about benching him in favor of Gibson because of his fumbling issues. And Hubbard's been very solid for Carolina. Um, Obviously, I love Kittle more than whoever
Gasecki.
they have. Yeah, I mean, Kittle's just one of the top tight ends in the game. There's no way around it. Um,
And Purdy likes him.
if
Purdy likes him.
if if Tua were healthy
Hmm.
and if Etienne was what we've come to expect from Etienne, I think it'd be a little bit closer. But I don't see it being close. I just think there's just too much strength in the wide receiver position for it. It ain't White. I mean, and Robinson, like I said, he's been very, very consistent, and especially with Eckler out, I mean, he's gonna be the bell cow.
Oh yeah.
And I like Miami's defense a little. First of all, I like anybody's defense going up against New England. So
Yeah.
I mean, I I think Denver's got a solid matchup against Vegas, but I don't know. I mean, have you seen New England's offense? It's just not there. And until Flowers shows me something, I can't really have a lot of faith in the guy. Um, I have this being. I think it ain't White's going to win by about 15.
Oh,
I think the projection here is 121 to 108 on the ESPN thing. I think it's going to be about that.
okay. I'll put you down for 121, 108 then.
The one hope that Jeff has is that Jackson goes off and connects with Flowers. I mean, that's just.
Jeff, I hope
I
that
mean,
happens. I hope that happens because I have that connection too in my other league, and I really hope that happens. I don't see it happening though, but I hope it happens.
but yeah, I mean, I like both teams, and like I said, if Tua is healthy and ETN's playing how he's capable of playing, I think it's a little bit closer. But until I see those two perform, I got to go with what I've seen so far. And on paper, based on 4 weeks, it ain't White has a clear advantage, and I don't think this matchup is going to be particularly close.
I don't see it either. Alrighty, so Egan's down for 121, 108 for Neil, and I'm down for 134, 120 for Neil. On to the next matchup. All right.